Good day, guys. Welcome to today's Zoom session. So, today's one is going to be a bit fast. I do not see any setups because I was just checking through my watch list and there's nothing too solid at the moment. If we notice on C5, they didn't break the zone yesterday, so the sells or the sellers haven't yet been activated. But I'm still keeping an eye on this high here, which is the current week's high. If we can get a reaction here, you see I've got a zone from a smaller time frame there, right on this candle here. So if we can break here from current market price, you see it's an order block. That's why I had marked it. And it was based off this high here, but still valid with this high, and price is playing around the previous day's high as well. So if we do break here, then I'm looking forward for a short-term sell, just like what's been happening the past few days. You see we've been having these short-term sales for quite some time now. So we're just looking to see if price can break that zone before we can sell. But if they extend, if this high is extended, that means this zone will become invalid, and I'll advise you guys if I have a new zone which we can use as a safe entry area. Then going to see 300 H4 again, you can see we're trading about the 13, meaning that price is still bullish from a higher time frame perspective. Let's see what the smaller time frames have. So from H1 we set a peak here, and this is the order block here. So a safe sell would happen below the zone. Anything happening here could be price continuing with the bullish move. So for now, I'll just want to mark this last order block here based on H1 and this peak created here. So if we can break below, then maybe we might have sells. But again, the trend is still bullish. So as long as the trend is going against the trend we should trade in, I do not see any solid setups. So again, going to C1000, same thing. Although C1000 looks like it might play out, the reason I'm saying so is because we had a 1350 cross here, and price looks like they are reacting with the 50 EMA here. So we might get a short-term sell here as well, but we're still stalking. Another point of interest is this zone here, which I marked. So we're going to highlight 59.45 is a point of interest for a short-term sell. So 59, anyway, from I would say 59.40. If price does come up, if they break here and start coming up, then this will be the next zone which we'll just be checking to get a potential short-term sell. The reason I'm saying short-term sell is because it looks like we've set a peak here. So if we break here now, it means the trend is actually pushing up. And if we react here, it will just be a pullback. Price could potentially be heading to the 200 EMA. Then at current market price, still want to see how the H1 will close, because this price action happening on the H1 sort of signals potential of sellers coming in, although it might be short term. Because if we break here, I feel like price will just come bounce off this support here before that buy move continues. So I'm just keeping an eye on this. If you drop down to M15, you see that we actually had a peak here, and the order block is this one. But the fact that this price looks like it's leaning to the upside makes me use this as a safe entry rather than this area here, because here you can already see we came down, came back up, came down, now we're going back up. So there's a lot of noise going on here. So I'd rather wait to potentially get a break below 58.55 before I consider sell. So let me just take a look at M30. Okay, yeah, I would consider that the safe area to sell, but also take notes that we're trading within yesterday's range. As you can see here, we're trading within that range. So until we come out of this range, I would say we do not have anything too solid. Price might still come down, maybe bounce off here, push back up. So we still want to see price breaking out of this range here before we actually execute. So I'm going to mark these lows. The highs have been marked already. Okay, so I'd rather wait for price to get out of this range or to get out of yesterday's range so that we can get a better setup. Of course, a trade might play out here, could be short term. As long as we're still within here, I do not have anything too solid on C1. So I'd rather wait and see what this price wants to do. Then going to B1, someone highlighted B1 for me just now. So I looked at it. The potential to push up is there. If you are looking at the intraday delivery of price, so this was yesterday's low. Price is sort of respected that area and we pushed up, created a higher high than this lower high here, created a higher low than this lower here, created another higher high here. So this can potentially be a higher low and this price might actually push up all the way to yesterday's high. So for now, B1 might play out, but again, you can see there's two EMAs in that area. So this is dynamic resistance. So price can still just hit this and continue going down. So if we look at this from the daily chart perspective, you see that this is the price action we're talking about. The price can potentially continue with this downtrend happening here. So if we do get a buy, we just want to go for a short-term buy for now, because at the moment price is on a trap zone, seeing these EMAs here again on H4, so they can easily reject here or give a fake move within this area. For us to actually get a better move, I feel like we need to wait for price to clear this range. So let me remove this fib. Let me mark out the high of this candle. And let me mark out the low of this candle. I'm just going to keep it simple here, nothing too complicated. The reason I'm marking these high and these low is because, like I said, this is an area where price can literally do anything. There can be fake moves here because there's a lot of moving averages here. So rather wait for price to clear this range so that we can know for sure if we're actually trading to the top side or price is continuing with the bearish move. So B1, I'll say this is my view. So this is an H4 candle, which I'm looking at now. And again, if you see, we've got like an M here, then an impulsive move. This might be a pullback. It's also possible. This could be a fake out. This area here for price to continue pushing up to these highs, also possible. So a lot of plays can happen. Rather wait for price to get out of this zone so that we can have more price action to work with. If you look at it from a daily, sorry, from an H1 perspective, this is the range we are working with from that H4 candle. So we need price to come out of here or come out of here. So if we can break below, this price will continue being bearish and we'll only be looking for an intraday reversal, maybe a bit later in the day. And there's also high chances that there's liquidity on this low here. So we just mark that price 660. Okay, just mark it like that. So price might come down to this area before we even get a good buy. Right, so we just keep stalking on this. We're going to leave it on H1 as it is. So at the moment, I don't think we've got anything too solid, even though the smaller time frames were a bit tempting. But I just want to wait and see what happens. So if we do break above this zone here, then definitely will be coming up. So at the break of this level, I'm going to have one buy, see if the price pulls up and retraces. Maybe we can add some more positions here. So that's around 13,800 area with the take profit around 13,880. But if we can get 50 pips within this move, 50 pips will be somewhere here. That will still be perfect. So for now, that's my view for B1. I'm only comfortable buying if we break the zone. And we'll be targeting yesterday's high as a take profit. So that's my current view. And this, if they do come up, this is the only setup which I feel like could actually play out. C5 was still stalking at some point. I know it's going to pay us. Okay, B1. Then going to B5. B5, this one must find its way out of my watch list. This price action here, it's been the same basically. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days of sideways movement. Still anticipating price to retrace. So for now, I don't have any buy setup on B5. Coming back to J10, I remember we had this impulsive move. So looking for a potential retracement. We marked this yesterday, I believe. Price came to the zone, rejected. Looks like we could potentially get the buy which we're looking for. So let's just see if we've got confirmations here. So if we extend this fib here, you see that this price actually came and reacted within the 61 and 50 level. Looks like we also touched this level here. Let me just extend it and see. Okay, we just had a touch. So the question now is, are we going up or is price going sideways? That we have to wait and see. So I'm just going to go back to H4. I just want to see where my price is heading. Okay, we have that zone on top there where price will most likely go to. Looking at the M30, price can potentially come towards today's lows again. That's also possible. So where can I buy this? If we're saying we've got to buy buying buyers, where can we potentially trade? So the first thing is from this high from yesterday, you notice that price started being delivered to the bottom side, creating a lower high, lower low, lower high. Then they created equal lows here. So as long as this level is not broken, I feel like our price will actually push up. So what I want to do now is I want to highlight this low with a gray zone, right? So price can still come back, extend today's lows by just tapping into the 61 area or the 200 EMA. That's one possible way to view it. So if they do come down here, what we simply need to do is wait for price to create that peak. Then we locate an order block somewhere. So if they do break the order block, then we're going to take the buys. That's the criteria for the buy to be valid. If we are looking at current market price, after these equal lows were created, you can see price then created this high, created a slightly higher low, created a slightly higher high, higher low, high high. So a lot can also happen around this area. I wouldn't want to buy right now because this price can still come down here. That's the first thing. Then the second thing is, where can I potentially buy if this price doesn't come to the bottom? So I'm going to mark the current high of today as a point of interest as well. So if price does break, so let's say for example, price decides to respect the 13 EMA here and they decide to push up, I'll most likely wait for them to retrace into this high or into this zone, which is now which will now be a support. Then I'll take my buy. So this is my area number 2, which is a point of interest for a buy. So for now, I'll say that's how I'm currently viewing it. If you look at TDI also, I would love to get maybe something like this. So if we can get either a baseline bounce or price bouncing off the 50 level, then I can actually take buy. So where could that happen? Again, we might see price coming down a little bit lower. So let me see if I can run a from this low to this high and stretch it into the future. Just remove this one from the higher time frame. Right, so from this particular intraday move, what you see is price creating higher highs. So it's also showing me that price is pretty much reluctant to push up. At the same time, they already tapped into the 50. Could they come again here? That's also possible. That way, TDI might give us a confirmation here, right there. So that will be the third possible play which could happen. So it's either they'll come up here. It's either they will come up here, then I buy from this area, or they'll come into here. Then I look for a nameable candle in here before I consider a buy, or they'll come all the way down. If they decide to break and come lower, then I won't have any setup for the day. Unless maybe if they do break and come somewhere here, because if you notice this zone here was not really retested. It was not really retested. Let's see. So, but that zone there, that will be like if this area doesn't play out at all and they break this area, maybe we could potentially get a reaction here. But for now, it's low probability until, of course, I see price come down here and actually reject that area. So that's my view on J10 for now. Nothing too solid for today. Going to V2501S. Remember yesterday we marked this point of interest, this point of interest, and this point of interest. So price ended up coming up, violating this one, actually breaking and sort of retesting it. So for now, I don't think it will be of any use. So I'm going to remove this. Then since price reacted at the top, slightly tapped out on liquidity, is there a chance to sell this one? The chance to sell could be there, but we need to be in mind that this price is being delivered to the upside for now. So chances of this price coming up to this zone are still high. Can they retrace back into this zone and come up? Yes, they can. So this again is also my zone. So if we drop down to the smaller time frames and we get a sell setup, then I can consider selling this. So looking at H1, the peak was here, but there's so many order blocks here. The only best order block after this peak would be this one here, in my point of view. So let's see how price can act. Okay, see what we have here. So the reason I'm marking this low is just in line with this order block. So I'm marking this low in preparation for a sell coming back to this demand zone here, right? So this will be the safest area for a sell because price can still respect this zone as a whole and actually push up, break the zone, break and retest and continue pushing up to that area on a higher time frame. So if we do this, you see it's slightly above that gray zone there. So for now, I would say that's how I'm looking at this price, 72, 100, 72, 100. So again, nothing too solid on V2501S. Trend is leaning to the buy side. We could get a sell being a retracement. Otherwise, price might just push up. So if we do get a break here now, I might consider scalping this price going up into this zone because this is a high time frame area where liquidity is lying. So once we break 70, I think it's 72, 100. Let me just check. Yes, 72, 100. Once we break 72, 100, I'm looking forward for a buy, taking profit in this zone here. So I don't know where they'll react here, but I'll wait for them here so that I can take something like this, of course, with more confluences as well. But if we do break here, then we're definitely going to come to the top side. So I'll say in between here, I won't have anything solid unless price touches here or price comes back up here. And again, we might have a third touch, then price will also come down. That's also a scenario which could play out. So for now, until price comes back here or comes here, I do not have anything too solid in terms of V2501S. So going to step played out nicely from where we took the trade. Yesterday, we were anticipating a pullback into the zone. If you notice, price didn't get into the zone. So again, these are variations to the ways which price moves. I remember one of the guys was asking me about TDI. So from here, we agree that the whole TDI indicator is now trading below the 50 level. So if you're watching this session, this is for you. So as soon as we come below the 50 level, all setups we have should lean to sells because the TDI is trading below the 50 level. That means we've got a downtrend in full motion. Hence, when we got this sell here, it was a perfect trade. And I feel like if we get trades like those, it's also a good idea to actually hold. As much as price might retrace to certain areas which might not be favorable to our position, the trend will just be bearish and it's always good to hold. So if you see the price continued giving sell setups, retrace a bit, sold, retrace a bit, sold, another retracement back to this area which was broken here, nice rejection here. So potentially we could continue pushing down until when, I'm not sure because I believe this should be the asset. Yeah, it's actually setting all-time lows because this is the only price action we have here. So if we do sell now, I think we'll sell until this price gets in touch with this 32 level. That's when we might get a reversal. So in closing the week, at some point we are going to start to get buys. But for now, I would say I'm still leaning on sells. Nice momentum. The past 3 days have been selling. We broke a structure. We've retested it with today's price action, meaning we're leaning on sells. But where is the safe entry now? So we have a peak for today. We've got an order block here. I'd love to sell below the zone. If we drop down to a smaller time frame, can we get another area to potentially sell from? From a smaller time frame, you will see that again the peak is highly visible here. So this would have been a perfect sell point after this rejection of this broken area here, right? With the stop loss just above here, a 1 to 3 trade, I think it will be complete or almost complete right now. So what can potentially happen is you notice there's a 200 EMA coming right there. Price can now do these things. So first, the safe sell is below this order block. That's for starters. The first sell is below that zone. But again, with screen time, you notice sometimes price likes to come and challenge the high which it would have set on that particular day, which makes this area on top here a possible area for price to actually sell from, again to create like an M pattern. So that's another possible move. So if you see price rejecting here, where next should you wait for it? You can wait for it at this point here. So the fact that this point hasn't been broken, that's why you don't hear me mention fair value gaps for now. But as you can see, there's a few fair value gaps in there, but I would have loved for them to break. Then maybe I can consider those fair value gaps as sell points. So first potential sell, second potential sell, then the third most likely thing to happen is price will take out today's highs, then actually interact with the 200, then create a new pattern there for us to sell. So I would say for now, that's my view, and I'll be waiting for TDI maybe to give me something, especially on the M15, to actually confirm these trades or this view which I have. So for now, I'm going to leave this on the H1. And again, I'm waiting for price to close below the 13 EMA on H1. The price closes in about 5 minutes from now. So sells are most likely to happen. All-time lows being set. So today, this price might actually set a low. If by any chance they set a new low, then that low is almost approached by tomorrow's price action, then a reversal might happen. But then that's a long shot. It's just anticipations for now. Let's just deal with current market price. So from this, or from these markings, we will determine whether we're actually taking the sell or not. And again, this zone is too hot for a sell because it was not retested really after being broken here. So price can literally still push up, then sell. But for now, our points of interest are within this range since we have got momentum going to the downside and less pullbacks. So we'll just see how that plays out. If I do get an entry, I will advise in the group. Going back to C5, you can see this still pushing up, taking out yesterday's high and the day before yesterday's high. So I'll just keep stalking on this as well. It's been the only one giving me trades for almost 2 weeks now. So I'll just keep stalking on it. But again, you can see the trend looks bullish. Respected the 200, came back above the 50. Didn't break the 200, came back about the 50, respected the 50, respected the 50. So the trend is still bullish. Whatever we're selling for now is just like intraday sells. Intraday sell, intraday sell, intraday sell, intraday sell. So if you do get a midweek reverse, a midday reversal at some time during the day, then I'll let you guys know if I'm watching the charts. So for now, we don't have anything too solid. Let's see how B1 is reacting. B1 has got potential to play out. I'm thinking if we shouldn't have a runner right now. I think it will be wise to maybe have one position on B1. Let's see. We've been bouncing off the baseline, bouncing off the 50. So chances of this pushing up are high, but the safe buy is above the zone. So again, it's either you can buy one position here or you can buy above the zone. So for me, I think to just be on the safe side, I'll wait for them to break this zone. This is my point of interest. As soon as they break here, I'm in, and I'm looking forward for price to come up here as a TP. So my entry will be right here. Here you can have a runner, but they might decide to come back down into this 15-minute demand zone as well. So just be in mind. If you can hold that loss, then you can execute on the trade. So the loss from current market price back to this zone is about 30 pips. If you can hold 30 pips, then you can take the trade. But if not, rather wait for price to break, showing confirmation that we are still, or we are most likely to push up. Most likely, but not guaranteed. We are most likely to push up. So yeah, I think that's it from me today. It's only B1, which looks like it might play C5. Not really sure what these guys want to do. Not really sure what they want to do. They could drop, but we'll wait for them right here for a safe sell. And we'll see what happens. So that's it from me, guys, for today. We'll catch up tomorrow for the last session of the week, around about the same time, I think. I'm not sure about my schedule tomorrow morning, but I'll advise you guys on the time when we're going to have our analysis. So apart from that, enjoy the rest of your day. Good trading.